Hey, my ordinary anglers and all you bass fishing fanatics out there. This is Mike Quattrone with Ordinary Angler Outdoors. Man, you get the whole truth and nothing but the truth as Gabe Montgomery, which on his YouTube channel is the 10 Horse Monty, and I would urge everyone to follow him and listen to his story about his recent drama or the malfunction of the situation with boaters and co-anglers in the regional that he was just in recently. Now, I have to give props to Gabe for doing a stand-up thing and making sure by his actions other fishermen got to fish versus not to fish. If you see that and understand, I'm just going to say it again, Major League Fishing, you have got to fix this problem. I don't know what you're going to do about it. I know I've read the rules. I looked in there and it says if you withdraw from a tournament that you could possibly not be allowed to fish in future Major League Fishing events. Now, it doesn't really go into specifics about what can happen to you if you do that. And I would suggest that Major League Fishing enforce penalties to the max for anyone that just decides to up and leave a tournament and leave people hanging who have worked all year to get to that spot. So, according to Gabe, he was going to be stuck fishing with another co-angler in the back of the boat. So you had the situation where they were going to have to put two co-anglers in the back of the boat with a boater, which happened to be in a 522 Ranger. But you guys understand now, in the development of bass boats in recent years, they've made the deck and the front bigger, okay, to accommodate, having a bigger platform on the front, and shifted the console and stuff more toward the back to accommodate that space up front. Well, that don't leave a lot of space for a co-angler, and the BFL rule is that you cannot go past the console as a co-angler and fish. Now, I don't know if there's exceptions to that rule. I don't think there is, but I'm just wanting people to go and understand the problem with having to have two people. First of all, the guy you're fishing with beside, if you're in the back of the boat, he's your competitor, okay? You are completely going against him, which in this case, the co-angler that was going to be in the boat with Gabe was sitting in 11th place. So, that being said, Gabe decided to withdraw, which Major League Fishing gave him refunded his entry fee, which I believe is $175. But, how about all the money for the whole year and the hotels and gas and the time and all that to get to the regional that he did to, I don't know, we're all trying to get to the All-American, folks. That's the whole point. You work hard. On both sides of the coin as a boater, I would never leave nobody hanging. There's been a lot of times I fished the regional in Texas last year at, and I didn't do good on day one, but I didn't leave. That's I don't know. I can't understand people selfish ways, but I do get enjoyment out of fishing. I get enjoyment out of making a regional. I would get enjoyment out of meeting people, another co-angler, and making a new friend. So I will just say this. Major League Fishing, you're going to be looking at 2026. Make some changes, and I don't know the answers. Hopefully you guys know the answers. But Gabe went home. And if people don't know, he won a regional and a boat last year and got to go to the All-American. And anyone who I've talked to who's got to go to the All-American loves it so much it's a taste in your mouth you want to have again. You want to repeat it once you've got to go to the All-American. So I never got that. I've got to the regionals. I hadn't got to the All-American. It's still on my plate to try to get. And I had a person ask me if I was still a co-angler as a boater, and I thought that was kind of funny, and that I was still, even as a boater, still no more than a co-angler, right? That was kind of interesting comment from somebody. And my response was, do you know how many people in the NFL never get to go to a Super Bowl? Do you know how many golfers who have a car never win a Grand Slam, that never get to win one of the 4 majors? They're in there. They're busting their butt. And, I also came up with ordinary angler as, 80% of the people in a tournament don't get paid. Now, think about that. It's tough. You got a bunch of guys that, including myself, know how to catch bass. Or, you fish all week and practice, and you just slay them, and you catch them, and then the day of the tournament, nothing. That's an ordinary angler. Or they pay 10 places, and you come in 11th. That's an ordinary angler. That's where I came up with the name Ordinary Angler Outdoors. And, everybody's busting their butt to try to get a check, including Gabe Montgomery, who I like him. Watch his video about this, and follow him on YouTube. He's he puts out very good content. I follow him, and I watch his content. Have been. So, let me just tell you, I've been a co-angler, and it's tough to be a co-angler, but you have to muddle through it and understand some of it's the luck of the draw, some of it's all these different actions affect a co-angler different than boater's got control of what he's going to do and how he's going to do and all that. So anyway, we just want to get, this is part 2 of the other video, following up after I watched Gabe's video explaining what happened. And so he did a very noble thing, and of not thinking of himself and thinking about other fishermen. And I applaud Gabe for his actions, and so many comments on that video did the same. And by all means, we need to have, I can't even imagine trying to fish with 2 co-anglers in the back of my boat. That's just, I just can't imagine it. So something needs to be addressed to fix this. And Major League Fishing, come on now. I know you can do it. I know you can come up with something. It's what y'all do for a living. Y'all can fix it. I've been with you since day one, and you're a great organization, and I know you have the ability to remedy the situation with this co-angler and boater situation. I don't know what the answers are, but You know, all you guys up at Gilbertsville, Kentucky, you know, from Kathy Fennell, Dave Washburn, Scott Ellison, and all the tournament directors, all y'all put your heads together, and you guys can get something done. I know you can, and make the sport better and make everything better for, you know, all the fishermen that have to deal with this. Anyway, this is Mike Quattrone. Go to Gabe Montgomery's The 10 Horse Monty YouTube channel. Like and subscribe on his. Like and subscribe on mine. And this is Mike Quattrone. I love fishermen. I love everybody. Have a great day and good luck on the water, because there's still regionals going on. Talk to y'all later.